Okay, so this will be well, first disassembly guide and also an assembly guide, since mine is in, one piece. So I'll just go reverse and then put all that together. Just pull them off. Since I put these rods in a while ago, they are kind of snug in there, so I actually cannot separate these from the blade piece. As I said, they are very tight. Like that. Sticking out both ends. And then we will pop the pins out. Just like that. And then pull the entire tang out. And just slide all these off. These pins, same premise. Would maybe recommend having some pliers on hand. Then pop the last one out. And boom, completely assembled. Okay, so first, tang the blade, which is thinner in this aspect and then has 2 holes going through it. We are going to first grab the collar and slide it on the back how you would a real katana. Then one of the spacers, slide it down, make sure the flat face will be facing the guard. Then the guard. Then another spacer, also making sure the flat face is facing the guard. And then we're going to slide this into the handle. Okay. Then take pins and first pin will be a tighter fit than the second one. So what I did while I was putting the pins, I made sure to push on this end because this is also a bit of a tight fit. You may have to sand the sides of the tang to actually get it into the blade perfectly, but ideally the pin should be a bit of a tight press in, just to make sure it doesn't wobble around with the entire blade hinging on it. Then the pommel. Put this little piece in. This little piece in particular may need some sanding, maybe some scaling in the software. I'm not too sure. First time I printed it, it was fine. But put one side in, put the pommel on, and then just put the 2 pins in. By the way, these gray pieces are PLA. So the white, gray, and this one black pin, which a little bit messed up. These are all PLA. All the purple is carbon fiber PETG. All right, now you're obviously not going to have it assembled already, so you're going to have to press these in. I would recommend taking one of these and pressing it into the tang. Let's see if I can show. Yeah, there's a bit of a hole there, which should perfectly fit these rods, dowels. For me, they fit perfectly. They may be a bit of a tighter fit for others, depending on their printer, but yeah. Then you're gonna put another one into the top of this beginner piece. Then you're going to take the middle blade section and slide that one, and then you're going to put another rod into the top of the middle piece, and then you're going to slide on the tip, and boom, all assembled. There are some semi-visible back gaps. I do not have mine glued together, so I can just twist the blade around, which is a bit funny. And I'd say there's two ways one could glue this together. You could rub glue on the entire rod and then fit it in place and then put the blade on. Or you could just glue this little section of blade in place. If I were to glue it, I would only glue this section because that's more of an easy glue bond to break if any of these pieces need to be replaced, which most likely they will not, as they're pretty sturdy unless you're like actually using it for sword training or something where it'll have extended periods of use over time. But yeah, that should be everything. I may make some like a rounded pommel as would be standard, and whoa and then I may make a more standard guard as well. These are just the ones that I have for my personal sword, as you can see, and I want to upload this model right now, which this is the day of uploading this model. So I may add more to this video, more videos in the future to show, you know, how to change out the parts, but maybe not. So yeah, disassembly and assembly, it's pretty easy. The tightest fit is going to be putting the metal rods into the blade and sliding it on. I think I do remember having a bit of an issue with one of the rods, trying to fit it onto this tip. And if I remember correctly, the rod was a little bit missized. So the specific Amazon link I have, they're not exactly cut, so they can be a little bit bigger than 5mm, a little bit smaller. If they're a little bit too big, the 10 pack that I have, what I did was I just grabbed another rod and used it instead, which is why it's a nice fit now. There may be other ways of procuring the rods, but the rod sizes, as said multiple times, are 5mm by 200mm. It doesn't matter the material, of course. And you need 4 of them. So in total, you need like about 800mm of length. That should be about it. Don't be afraid to sand any of these pieces if they don't fit exactly. And yeah, that should be all. So good luck.